This is my last brewery for the season, and it's looking like a great spot to finish. In 2013, founder Brendan Parnell wanted to open up his brewery on Hobart's waterfront and headhunted Scott for the top job.
We met over beers, as you do, and he told me his idea. I tried talking him out of it, and I failed at that, and yeah, it went from there.
I love how you were able to get Hobart Brewing. It's still available.
Yeah, you know, we actually spent a lot of time thinking about that because it seemed a bit too obvious, and we were wondering why nobody else had picked it up, but yeah, we grabbed it.
I have noticed, Scott, that you don't sound like you're from around here. What's your backstory?
Well, I'm married to an Australian. She grew up in Melbourne, and we both...
You say it like an Australian.
Yeah, well, we've been together long enough that, we first came to Tassie together nearly 20 years ago. And it actually reminds me of where I grew up in upstate New York. And so I fell in love with Tassie right away. I felt comfortable here. And
it's an amazing place.
Yeah, there's a rawness and a wildness here. And it's missing, you know, over 350 million Americans. So that was a bit desirable as well. And
what's the beer culture like over there? Because you didn't start brewing at Moo Brew. You were brewing in America first?
That's right. Yeah, I got my start at a Colorado brewery called Oster Blues.
Scott's got some good advice for anyone wanting to be a brewer. Basically, just start brewing some beer and get yourself out there.
I'd always wanted to become a brewer. I'm an old school guy who spent a long time home brewing. I walked around to 8 different breweries one day and I got 7 rejections. And Oster Blues said, see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And so I started on their canning line, which was, at the time, craft beer's first ever canning line.
Wow, in the world?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's cool. So, since I've been interested in craft beer for the last however many years, people always say America's always about 10 or so years ahead. You think it's still like that?
No, I don't. When Kate and I first arrived in Tassie, there were maybe 100 breweries in Australia and like 7 or 8 in Tassie. And now I think that number is somewhere between 700 to 800. And Tassie has over 30 breweries. And the quality of the beer being brewed in Australia has risen with some really big players like Stone and Wood and you know, Balter, Four Pines, all the Pirate Life, Mountain Goat, and certainly here, Moo Brew here in Tassie, they were kind of founded on that principle of quality and consistency, and I think lifting everybody's game, and nobody's being left behind. On the last trip back to Colorado and California, you know, we were a bit underwhelmed, and it wasn't that anything had dipped down there, it's just that everything here has just been getting better and better every year. And so I think, you know, the beer being brewed around Australia is on par with anywhere in the world.
Wow.
The beer pioneer. Oh, yes, he is.